The following podcast contains mature subject matter, adult themes, and may also contain profanity. You have been warned.
Well, hello, Absurdians. Welcome back to the show. The show, of course, is The Absurd, where we discuss things that are absurd. Things that are funny and freaky and frightening, and sometimes they're weird histories and mysteries and just outlandish stuff from around the world. And right here at home. Like, not at my home.
Wow, some weird stuff here, too.
Oh, you don't even know. That smell over there.
Smell.
Ooh, that smell. Yeah, that's Mel.
Yeah.
Hi, Mel.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Good.
How are you?
Good, I'm okay.
How's your hand?
It hurts.
Tell
But
the
actually, it
people what
doesn't
you
hurt.
did.
It doesn't hurt. It really hurt when I did it.
What did you do?
So I was doing the bottle drive Saturday. You must not have known about it because you didn't show up. But I probably should.
I didn't have any bottles.
Yeah, lies. Anyway, I was in the back of the trailer trying to clear away, and there was a big stupid barn broom there. And I swung it up put it up against the wall, and it came back, and my hand got hit between it and this big cupboardy thing.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was a big pressure cut.
Mm.
It bled like a bugger, I tell you. And it hurt for like a few minutes, and it was just annoying. And now it just looks annoying. But it kind of looks cool, eh?
It looks like a vampire bite or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That'd be quite a wide gap, though, between
Would
teeth,
be.
wouldn't it? And
No, think about where your
why would it bite me on the hand?
fangs. I don't know. I'm just saying what it looks like.
Oh, so you don't think it is actually a vampire? Because I was there.
don't know.
I was there when I did it. And
Maybe you didn't know. Maybe they were so stealthy, in and out. Didn't even know.
No,
No?
I don't know.
No.
That reminds me of, do you like owls?
I don't hate them.
You better not. I'll tell them. Because I really like owls. But you know, Kara.
Who?
Kara. Shut up. No, you just... are you an owl? Ooh. She is afraid of owls.
Is she?
Well, she saw a movie. Oops. Is that a movie or documentary or something about a woman who... I think woman was coming home and the owl swooped down and with its talons took her scalp off. And she bled out and died. Right?
Wow.
Yeah, and I remember watching a video. It was by the BBC, and they were comparing the sound different birds make as they fly. And they were using really high-end, audio recording.
Yeah.
And they had a hawk, a pigeon, and an owl. And the hawk and the pigeon made absolute noise you could hear. Mm-hmm. Audio mics picked it up. The owl, nothing.
Nothing. Just
Even the high sensitive mics didn't pick it up.
Wow, eh?
So you could be like la la la, walking down the street and all of a sudden, bing, owl smokes you.
I told you that's what happened to my dad with a hawk, right?
It attacked him?
Yeah.
I think you did tell me
Yeah,
that.
I think I talked about this on the pod. Might have been early on or something.
Well, obviously it wasn't later, but yeah. What? Yeah.
Smart ass.
What did he get hurt?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because it attacked his head.
Jesus.
Yeah, I think he just got too close to a nest.
Well, and that's what I think must have happened in this show she watched. Because, owls aren't, I hardly see people as a food source.
Right.
I was just going to say, I probably could beat an owl in a fight. I'm sure I would hate every damn second of it.
Yeah.
It would suck.
Yes, it would.
You ever seen how owls can turn their heads almost all the way around?
Yes.
You know why?
Why?
They have to do that because they can't move their eyes within their head.
Oh.
They can't look left or right.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
so
didn't
that's
know
it.
that.
I wish I could do that.
That would be pretty
Turn
cool.
my head almost all the way around. I'd freak people
That'd be a
out.
cool party trip.
Damn right. Until you got kicked out. Satan. Yeah, your son got dealt a wound this weekend
he
too,
did.
didn't he?
It was the weekend of wounds,
Yeah,
apparently.
and he got done in at a goat farm.
At a goat farm. Yeah. Imagine that.
It's hard to, really. But it wasn't a goat that did it, was it?
No. But that's what my husband thought it was, and he was telling people that he got hit by a goat.
Well, I was wondering if, like, Liam was down. You don't mind if I say his name?
No.
If he was down on all fours and, like, challenging a goat, like, come on, buddy,
Yeah.
let's see what you got.
Yeah.
Which would be a really stupid thing to do.
Yeah.
You know?
No,
but it
he's
wasn't
not,
that.
he's not that stupid.
No, I didn't think he was.
He was down on the ground feeding them,
Uh-huh.
and they have vending machines there. They like the bubblegum machine vending machines,
Uh-huh.
but they fill them with corn for feeding the goats.
Hi.
So there's one that's up higher, and he was kind of underneath it.
Uh-huh.
So we were getting ready to go, and he stood up and hit the bottom metal piece where it falls, all the corn falls out.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the blood. The blood, the blood, the blood.
Did he get corn in his head?
I don't think so.
Okay, good.
Oh,
Yeah.
and the screams.
Oh, I'm
like,
sure he hated it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm sure it hurt like a mother. I'm positive. But Mark ripped his shirt off to like put
His
it on
own
his
shirt
head.
or Liam's
Yeah.
shirt?
No, his own shirt.
Wow.
It was red, so it worked well.
That's all right, yeah.
But
Of course, then Mark's walking around shirtless in a
well, he
public
had a
event.
T-shirt on underneath.
Oh, okay, that's good. Because that was, you know,
That
got to
would've
do
been
what you
funny.
got to do, of course. But
Oh yeah.
you know,
I wasn't gonna
yeah.
do it. But
here, take my pants. Use my pants.
I had a white shirt on. I wasn't gonna do
No,
it.
hell with that. You'll be all right, kid. It'll stop. You know, just raise your head up above your head. Yeah.
Oh, but
Would
yeah,
you
it was
stop
it was
bleeding?
traumatic for a little bit there.
Yeah, no
And
doubt.
my daughter didn't like it, so she's crying.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a murder scene. But he's
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
So we ended up we did take him to Emerge in Listowel because we were right there.
Yeah, yeah.
And they were lovely. So shout out to Listowel Hospital. They were awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't need stitches, but they used the Durabond. It's
Right.
like a crazy glue
Mm-hmm.
to kind of
Yeah,
squeeze
so
it all
no
back
stitches.
together.
Yeah. When
Yeah.
I think I'm right in saying that a crazy glue or some derivative of was actually invented in Vietnam
Oh yeah.
for that purpose,
Yeah.
to seal wounds, like as a real. It's not like, okay, stop, you can go back into the fight. Like,
Yeah.
no, it's like, you're bleeding, let's close this up
Yeah.
until you can get somewhere proper.
Right.
Um,
Good stuff, man. It was pretty
Yeah.
cool. I was watching the doctor do it. He let me watch. I'm like, can I watch?
saddest. Yeah, you know how you get crazy glue off your fingers? Like, if you ever glue your fingers together by
Oh, I
accident?
would have no idea.
Nail polish remover.
Oh yeah.
Acetone will take it off. Because I think we should do an experiment and video it. Like, if we take your hand, like the palm of your hand, and crazy glue it to your face. Like, just one hand for starters. Like, we'll spread your fingers out so you can see, you know.
Right, and breathe.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah,
This isn't
okay.
about killing you. But I think it would be funny.
No, I don't think so.
Don't
no,
you?
I don't, no, I don't really want
Or
to do
glue
that.
your hat to your head. That'd be funny. Do you remember that silly woman? Was a young woman. Actually, I think it might have been a girl. But you remember how she used Gorilla Glue on her hair a few years ago?
Oh yes.
Some bullshit, stupid TikTok nonsense.
Yes.
I'm not saying TikTok is nonsense, but there's a lot of nonsense
There's
on
a
TikTok.
lot. People do nonsensy things.
And then she tried to sue the company. Stupid. It's glue.
Yeah.
I had no idea gasoline was flammable. Why didn't somebody tell me?
Yeah, no kidding.
You know, moron.
No.
It was hilarious. I saw the video. And because she thought it was some sort of styling thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in a way it was.
Yeah.
Because now you're getting all your hair cut off.
Yeah.
Silly child.
Yeah. She be dumb.
She am dumb.
She am dumb.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so you did something else cool this weekend, yeah?
Yeah, we went out to
Cayuga.
Cayuga.
Yeah, you said it wrong before.
Cayuga?
That's, what are you? We in Ohio?
I don't know.
No, it's Cayuga.
Went out there to the Speedway.
Oh, yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
Now, did you do speed? No, just kidding.
Well, I went fast.
Ooh.
I drove the Ferrari.
Which one?
I don't know.
Oh,
The
God.
gray one.
Oh,
I don't
come
know.
on.
I don't know.
That's cool.
I don't know. They had it all written out, but I don't remember. Anyways, it went really fast.
Was it standard?
No, they don't have them. They have like the pedal on the handles. They have the pedal, whatever the hell they call them.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to do that because I only had 2 laps.
Oh, right.
And I didn't want to waste my time trying to figure out how to shift properly.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I just told them, just put it to automatic and we'll do it. They had a Porsche there with like traditional standard
Yeah.
stick, which I would love to go do sometime.
Right.
So
I'm gonna leave that one. If you don't mind, do you know how much it costs for like 2 laps?
I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not sure. I think it's like, I think he got it through a Groupon deal.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I want to say it was like $100 for 2 laps, but that was a deal, right?
Yeah.
You could buy extra laps. You could also pay, I think it was $50 a person.
Yep.
And you could get in a Porsche with the owner. And he
Okay.
used to be a professional race car driver.
Right.
So he takes you around the track. Like, for real.
At speed.
At speed.
Did you have to show your driver's license?
Yeah.
Never mind then.
Why?
I'm less interested.
But yeah, it was
Anyway.
cool. And
Yeah,
then we
nice.
got to watch some of the drag racing, which is always interesting too.
Like actual drag racing, like 2 cars side by side?
Yep.
Sweet.
Yep.
Did they have parachutes that come out?
No.
That's-
No, not the ones that we saw.
That's
So
less
some people
interesting.
were going by themselves, some were racing.
In dragsters?
Yeah.
You could
Well,
get
no, not just dragsters.
Oh.
You could go take a freaking Malibu. I could take my Kia out there if I wanted to.
Yeah. Track day.
Yeah.
Could you get a ride in a dragster? No, they're only single seat. That'd be awesome. I'd do that in a second. Yeah.
Those go fast, man. Holy smokes.
Damn right.
But,
that sounds cool.
It was cool. It was a lot of fun.
Did you have any drinks before you did
No,
it? Good
I
move.
did not. I was a little hungover that day anyway, so.
Don't even get me started. That's for later. Yeah, cool. Good weekends all around. I went to Striker Saturday night. I
Cool.
told you.
Yeah.
Had 2 orders of wings.
Ooh, that's a lot of food.
Well, I didn't have them
They're
at the
filling.
exact same time. Like, I had 1 pound, then later on I got another pound.
How long were you there?
I got there about 20 after 6. I only left about 10:30.
Wow.
Yeah. You know. Watched some hockey.
Cool.
My friend Sab and my friend Jimmy.
Cool.
Yeah. You're going to have to meet him.
Jimmy?
Yeah. You've never met him. He's a good guy.
I'm not.
Good guy. Plays at Rural Roots. Yeah, so what do you think about stories? Do you like stories?
Let's do some stories.
It's oh my god. It's my turn to start.
Okay.
This story is really sucky. Okay, hang on a second. Okay, that's better. It's a terrible story. Not a happy story.
Okay.
And matter of fact, it infuriates me, this story.
Okay.
Are we ready?
Yes.
Here we go. Are you sitting comfortably?
No.
Then
but go
we'll
ahead.
begin. Just one day into what should have been a relaxing family holiday in Turkey, or Turkiye, if you're from that part of the world, 28-year-old Beth Martin, a mother of 2 from Portsmouth, England, was wheeled into a hospital in Istanbul with what appeared to be an upset stomach. That was the start of a never-ending nightmare for the Martins, as Beth lost her life in the process, and her body was returned to the UK without her heart. Now, you might think, well, who cares? You just relax and listen. The sudden and disturbing series of events has shattered her husband, Luke Martin, and their 2 young children, 8-year-old Eloise, cool name, and 5-year-old Tommy, who allege potential medical negligence, a botched investigation, and gross mishandling by Turkish authorities. It has been the worst and most traumatic week of my entire life, Luke wrote on social media. If anyone can take anything away from this, hold your loved ones a little longer. Don't sleep on an argument. Take photos, take videos, tell them you love them more. Beth, Luke, and their 2 children arrived in Turkey on April 27th. Beth had already begun feeling ill during the flight, complaining of nausea and a stomachache. By Monday morning, her condition had deteriorated so severely that she was described as being delirious. Panicked, Luke contacted an ambulance and rushed her to a local hospital, which has not been identified, where things took a terrifying turn. She was pinned down, poked and prodded invasively, denounced Robert Hammond, a close friend of the family, who's been acting as their spokesperson. Hammond explained that Luke was barred from seeing her and received no updates on her condition throughout the entire grueling process. Just silence, Hammond said. No calls, no updates, despite him trying to contact the hospital to see if his wife was okay. Beth was later transferred to a second hospital for a procedure known as an angiography, a medical imaging technique that checks the status of blood vessels. Despite doctors having concerns with her heart, the scan showed no major abnormalities and she was sent back to the original facility. Reports indicate the hospital then refused cooperation with Beth's travel insurer and blocked attempts to move her to a private hospital. Miscommunication and confusion escalated as Beth's health declined. At one point, Turkish police arrived at the family's hotel and delivered a shocking document stating Beth had passed away at 9 a.m., despite still being on life support at the time. Turkish police then accused Luke of poisoning his wife, launching an investigation against him even before her passing had been officially confirmed. The accusation proved to be baseless, of course, but the damage had already been done. They told him she was dead before she actually passed, said Ellie Gray, a close friend of Beth who traveled to Turkey to support the family, and then accused him of murder. For spokespersons Gray and Hammond, the truth of the matter is clear. It was the doctors who ended Beth's life by accident and went to extreme lengths to wash their hands of the responsibility by obstructing the involvement of foreign authorities, private hospitals, and Luke himself. She was allergic to penicillin. They had no idea and had been treating her for hours, Hammond said, explaining that Luke had specifically informed ambulance staff of her allergy, but the information was ignored. The level of negligence is incomprehensible. When Beth was finally pronounced as having passed away that Tuesday, April 29th, the Martins had to begin the painful process of bringing her home, but even then the nightmare continued. Beth's mother and Luke were reportedly made to help lift her body into a coffin in the morgue. Not kidding. We got to see Beth for 30 seconds in the morgue. Then the guy clicked his fingers at us and handed us a corner of the body bag that was zipped open, and me, Beth's mum, Luke, and a translator had to lift her body into a coffin, Ellie Gray recounted. According to the UK's Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office, Turkish coroners can legally remove entire organs without the consent of the patient's family, citing exceptional circumstances. A 6-month wait now looms for a UK coroner's inquest, time the family must endure without closure. In Turkey, a negligence investigation has reportedly begun. No clear explanation, aside from ruling out food poisoning, has been offered for what caused Beth's sudden passing. The fundraiser campaign destined to support the grieving family has surpassed $240,000. We just want answers, Gray added. Why did she pass away? Why was her husband accused? And why was her heart taken without consent?
Jeepers.
So I was reading a bit about this. You know why the heart was probably taken without consent?
Why?
Because the heart can be determined what the cause of death was.
Right, yeah.
So some shitbag doctor,
Wow.
you know, screwed up and doesn't have the stones to take responsibility for it. I might be a lesson here. Don't go to Turkey.
Well, yeah.
You know,
it's not on the top of my list.
Well, there are lots.
You know.
It's actually home to most of the Roman ruins and Greek ruins.
Yeah.
So there'd be lots of beautiful stuff, but yeah, man.
Lots of bad stuff.
Well, seemingly that way anyway. Like, can you imagine? Like, you know, you can't see her. Yeah, we're not going to tell you how she is. Yeah, good old Red Crescent work right there.
Poor lady too, because she's by herself, can't see her family.
Right? Yeah. Like I don't even know. I don't know if she was conscious at all at that point. No idea.
Who knows, right?
But and then on top of that, some shitbag, you know, third world police guy says, "Oh, we're accusing you of murder."
Yeah.
Without any evidence, because they can't even tell how she died. How can you therefore then accuse somebody of murder?
Yeah.
Good God, man.
Wow.
Build a wall. Yeah, so that's horrible and young too.
Scary.
Yeah, that's
scary stuff.
That's no good, man. So
I had to go to a Cuban hospital.
You did?
I did.
Yeah.
And that was an interesting endeavor.
Well, Yeah, I had a friend
But
who
they
did.
were lovely.
Yeah, and the only problem with Cuban hospitals is lack of supplies.
Right.
And that's because of the Americans still preventing them from getting them.
Yeah.
Like how? So when was that? When was that revolution? 1960. So 65 years later, the U.S. still won't allow them to get proper medicine. Like, let it go, dicks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know.
I love Cuba.
Yeah, me too.
I'm really glad that Canada's always had a good relationship with them. I had a friend who did that too. She got stung by like an octopus or something, or whatever it is octopuses do.
Oh, jellyfish, you mean?
No, it wasn't a jellyfish.
No?
No, it was something worse. And she was in the hospital like for a while. She was messed up.
Wow.
And then another guy jumped into the pool and broke his ankle on their last day in Cuba.
Oh, no.
Yeah. They gave him aspirin. It's all they had. All they had.
Oh.
And you want to blame somebody? Blame the Yankees. Because, again, they're the ones stopping
it's
it.
easy to do.
Wow, in that case, don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Like, jeez, man, Castro's dead.
Yeah.
Get over it. Yeah, so that's, if you're taking a vacation in Turkey.
Jeepers.
Sorry, Turkiye.
Turkiye.
You might want to think, but I like turkey. Like, I like the meat.
Turkey.
Hey, do you got a story for us?
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you tell us what it is?
All right.
Okay.
We're going to talk about female hysteria. And where that term came from.
I know. But I'm not going to say because I'm not going to. This is you.
This is all me, so shut up.
You shut up.
Female hysteria was once a common medical diagnosis for women. It was described with a wide range of symptoms, including anxiety, shortness of breath, fainting, nervousness, exaggerated and impulsive sexual desire.
Ooh.
This makes you hysterical, apparently.
Yeah.
Insomnia, fluid retention, heaviness in the abdomen, irritability, loss of appetite for food or sex. Apparently they go hand in hand.
Well, they often do.
And a tendency to cause trouble for others.
Well, you got it for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, dude.
I'm like, all of these are like tick, tick,
That's
tick.
a lot of symptoms,
Yeah.
eh? Holy moly.
Yeah, she's crazy.
Yeah.
Its diagnosis and treatment were routine for hundreds of years in Western Europe. In extreme cases, the women may have been forced to enter an insane asylum or to undergo surgical hysterectomy.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, I knew that. Yeah.
The history of hysteria diagnosis can be traced to ancient times, dating back to the 1900 BC in ancient Egypt. The womb was thought capable of affecting much of the rest of the body. It was believed that a variety of bodily complaints were due to a wandering womb.
A wandering
That's what they
womb.
would call it, was a wandering
Really?
womb.
Oh my God! Look down the street. There's a wandering womb.
Just hops out and
I hope it finds its
take it
way
for a
home.
walk.
Yeah. Cool. Yes.
I wish I could just take it out and put it to the side when I don't need it.
Don't think you want to.
No. In ancient Greece, wandering womb was described as a disease, and that the woman's uterus is a living creature that wanders throughout the woman's body,
Jesus.
blocking passages, obstructing breathing, and causing disease.
That's sinister.
It was
bugger.
described as an animal within an animal.
Wow.
Yeah. In the 5th and 4th centuries, the standard cure for this hysterical suffocation was scent therapy.
Scent?
Scent.
Like SCENT?
Yes.
Huh.
In which good smells were placed under a woman's genitals and bad odors at the nose. It was thought that fumigating the body with special fragrances would draw the uterus back to its natural spot in the female body.
Seriously?
Foul smells applied to the nose would drive it down.
Of course.
And pleasant scents at the vulva, I love that word,
Yeah. It's a
would attract
good
it.
cars.
What?
They make good cars.
Vulva? Yes. Sneezing could be induced to drive the uterus back to its correct place.
Wow.
This is just in there floating around, I guess.
I guess so.
In the 16th and 17th centuries, hysteria was still believed to be due to the retention of fluids in the uterus, lack of sex, or by the tendency of the uterus to wander around the body.
God, that uterus.
Causing irritability. Well,
Yeah.
I get that.
I would too.
And suffocation.
Quick, go in. It's got behind the kidney. Get after it.
It's like hide and seek.
God.
Where is it? Marriage and regular sexual encounters with her husband were still the most highly recommended long-term course of treatment for
Of course they
a
was.
woman with hysteria
Yeah.
to purge the uterus of any built-up fluid. Self-treatment, such as masturbation, was not recommended.
Oh, bummer.
I wonder why.
That's a drag.
And was also considered taboo.
Of course.
Oh, get this one.
Uh-huh.
Clearly, men were in power at this time.
Yeah.
Semen was also thought to have healing properties.
Well, they're not wrong.
And physicians regarded all contraceptive practices dangerous to women.
Of course they did.
Here's a good name for you.
Okay.
Giovanni Matteo Ferrari de Gradi.
Is that German? No, it's
Yeah.
obviously Italian.
Yes.
That is a good
German.
name.
Yes.
Yeah,
That German Giovanni.
Swedish.
He cited that marriage and childbearing as a cure for the disease.
Mm-hmm.
If pleasure was obtained from them, then hysteria would be cured. If a woman was unmarried or widowed, manual stimulation by a midwife involving certain oils and scents was recommended to purge the uterus of any fluid retention.
Why couldn't she do it herself, though?
You weren't supposed to. It wasn't recommended.
God.
Yeah. So it's like old school rub and tug, but for women.
I gotta think of a new name for it then. Okay.
Lack of marriage was also thought to be a cause of
Wow.
most melancholy in single women,
Oh, God.
such as nuns or widows.
Uh-huh.
Studies of the causes and effects of hysteria were continued in the 16th and 17th century by medical professionals. In the Middle Ages, another cause of dramatic symptoms was none other than demonic possession.
Ooh, good.
It was thought that demonical forces were attracted to those who were prone to melancholy, particularly single women and the elderly. Undiagnosable or incurable patients who were thought to have been possessed by the devil often exhibited symptoms that would indicate mental illness in modern day, obviously. After the 17th century, the correlation of demonic possession and hysteria were gradually discarded and instead was described as behavioral deviance.
Ooh.
In the 18th century, hysteria slowly became associated with mechanisms in the brain rather than the uterus. A French physician, Francois de Savage de la Croix,
Ooh, I like it.
believed that common signs of female hysteria were tears and laughter, which I do all the time,
Yeah.
stretching and yawning,
Mm.
suffocating angina,
So, okay.
shortness of breath,
Yeah.
difficulty swallowing, delirium, a close and driving pulse, a swollen abdomen, cold extremities, and abundant and clear urine. These just make me laugh.
Well, at least they're getting past the ridiculousness. Like, it's still
Yes.
stupid.
Yes.
Wonder what happens when these symptoms came up in men.
Well, in the 20th century, that was part of it too, where they realized that it wasn't just men,
Women.
or women, sorry, that
Yeah.
it is men as well.
Good.
And it started to decline due to the greater understanding of the psychology behind the
Sure.
so-called hysteria.
Sure.
So there
Well,
you
so
go.
what is, okay, so, but what is, like, what would we call it now? Would we call it
Just
anything?
mental illness
Right.
is what we would refer to it.
Right.
Not like you're crazy.
Because hence the word hysterical.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And we will use it to say when something's really funny.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
And, I don't really think anybody who uses that term literally means what you were just talking about. They
Right.
literally mean it's something exceedingly funny.
Yes.
But the word does have a lot of baggage to it.
Yes, it sure does.
You know?
I actually had no idea. I
is
just
that right?
stumbled upon this.
Yeah,
and,
yeah. No,
I
that's a
saw
good one.
I saw a meme
Mm.
about it, and I was like, oh, I wonder how much of this is true. So I started looking into it, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to do a story on this.
Yeah.
So I was like, holy hell. Yeah.
No, it's ridiculous. Like a wandering womb. I guess if a part of your body can just meander about in your chest cavity.
Animal inside the animal.
Yeah, I like that. But it would be like a good name for a band, a wandering womb.
A wandering.
Be a good name
womb.
for an all-women band.
Yeah.
All-woman like punk band.
Yeah.
Or it could be a new game, like instead of like "Where's Waldo," it'll be like "Where's Woomo" or something.
Woomo? Where's Woomo?
I don't know. I had to put another syllable in there. Right? No, that's a good story, man. That's a good one because it's also I love words. I like language, and I don't have a big problem with people using the word hysterical.
No.
Because words change meaning.
Yeah.
If I was to say, yeah, let's go out this Saturday, we'll have a gay time.
Yeah.
Well, that would have been up until not so terribly long ago. The correct for the time usage of the
have
word.
A gay old time.
Right.
It's in
Awesome. Have a big party. It's going to be fun, So that word has changed. I mean, it still means that.
Yes.
But now it has another meaning.
Yep.
So I'm okay with the usage of it.
Yep.
I don't think words are instantly offensive.
No.
I think it's context that is offensive.
Right.
But we live in a world where context doesn't matter for much anymore.
No.
Sadly. No, good choice, man. That was a great choice. Hey.
What you got?
Japan.
I know Japan.
Yeah. This is funky, man. I've never heard about this. I used to teach online. I used to teach Korean students. They were all adults. They were all corporate people. I shouldn't say there was a few teenagers, but not many. And I refused to do little kids lessons online. So you learn a lot about different mindsets and different social, cultural things within Asia. Like, I feel bad for any student in Korea. All of them. I feel bad for everybody, actually, because they work their nuts off. And if you're not first, you might as well have failed. So, like, this one girl that I taught, I think she was like 17 or 18. Her name was Minji. I've the faintest idea why she was taking English lessons, because her English was almost flawless.
Oh, yeah?
And had no accent. Like, she spoke better than a lot of people who grew up with only learning English.
Right.
But she went to school all day, Korean school, and then at like 5 o'clock, she went to English school till 11 p.m. Every day. Every day. And I would talk with people who worked at like Hyundai or Kia, which is the same company actually, Samsung, Sanyo, whatever. Some of them worked 7 days a week. They never had a holiday, never a day off. And the one woman, she was like 24, and I'm like, wow, man, how do you do that? And not surprisingly, they have the highest suicide rate in the world.
Do they really?
They do. And Japan is maybe a little bit more lax, but not much, dude. So this article really piqued my curiosity here. In Japan, every year, 100,000 people disappear into thin air. They are the johatsu, the evaporated. The walls of Japan's metropolises are covered with ads with photos of people and writing that can be translated as, "Who has seen him?" People who left home in the morning, said goodbye to their loved ones, and never returned. Men and women who decide to disappear, to slip into the shadows. They change their names, residences, jobs, lives, as in witness protection programs. The reason? Social bankruptcy, job loss, financial problems, marriages falling apart, and the subsequent dreaded social disapproval, loss of honor. This shit matters a lot in Korean, Japanese, maybe other East Asian countries.
Right.
It's shameful if you lose your job. It's your fault. Doesn't matter what happened. A mysterious and disturbing phenomenon, all Japanese. Tormented by shame, they dissolve without a trace. An administrative disappearance favored by privacy laws that, if no crime is committed, give great freedom to keeping movements secret and prevent relatives from consulting financial data, in other words, tracking them down. It is a phenomenon that has ancient roots. As early as 3 centuries ago, Hinan were non-persons, vagrants and prostitutes who were not counted, could not marry or have children. They did not exist. In Tokyo, there is a neighborhood that has disappeared from the maps. Sanya, S-A-N-Y-A. Cab drivers avoid it. Officially, its boundaries have been incorporated into adjacent neighborhoods. In reality, it is one of the places that houses the hidden society. They arrive here, rent rooms in fourth-rate hotels, as many as 10 to a room, and let the world forget about them. They are brought to us by night movers, agency operators who arrange getaways, take care of the necessary registry changes and overnight transportation services, a business that has flourished in recent years. For a complete disappearance, it takes $500 to $3,000, depending on complexity. Every day, its efficient teams make it possible for a dozen or so johatsu to die surviving. Just one step further are kahoshi, suicides dictated by work-related causes. A recent survey determined that 60% more suicides occur in Japan than in the rest of the world. Most are men and women exhausted by work. More than 20% of Japanese employees far exceed 80 hours of overtime per month, while 50% forego paid leave.
Jeepers.
Yeah, like
that sounds like a movie. Like, hardly seems real.
Yeah, like if you they drink a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. And not in the fun way, like, it's end of the week. They don't have an end of the week, dude. Mm-hmm. Like 80 hours over, that's 20 hours a week. Jeez. 80 hours a month.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you their work week is not 40 hours.
Right.
It's already more than that.
Yeah.
You know, so how big surprise that your relationships break down.
Yeah.
You know, and that everything else does, because it doesn't matter if everybody's used to it. You still, you're not having time with your wife, husband, your kids, your friends. You know, oh God, appalling. I think it sounds absolutely sad. Yeah. You know, and horrible for those people.
It is,
So you pay to disappear. Your relatives will never see you again. Yeah, talk about, like, you know, missing the mark of mental health, right?
Do women work in the workforce as much?
I don't think there's any limitations that way anymore. Like, it's still, I don't know as much about Japan, but Korea, man, it's still, like, a man's world. Well, there's actually a feminist movement called 4B that came from Korea. And I don't remember what all the 4 rules are, but one of them is no sex with men.
Really?
Yep. Just to say, fuck you.
Right.
Right? And it's, I don't want to say it's spreading because that makes it sound like a disease or something. Because I get it.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's sad that it's come to that.
It is sad.
But if you're going to treat people like shit, you know.
If that's all you know.
Well, if you're going to beat a dog, don't whine when it bites you.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of how I see it.
Yep.
Now, those men, it's not, you know, it's not a conspiracy, and, you know, it's never been like, you know, we men get together and think of ways that we can make women's lives more miserable. It's a patriarchy, right?
Yeah.
It's the way it's always been. That doesn't mean it should still be, though. Right? So, but no, I think, like, most of our...
That's sad.
I would say half my students, they would have been women. Yeah, I never noticed a disparaging difference between men and women.
Okay.
Not at all. No.
Interesting.
But it would suck, man.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't know if it's in Japan, but if you're in Korea, when you're born, that's your first birthday. So when you hit what we would consider 1 year old, you're actually 2.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. It took me a while to get my head around that.
Interesting.
And then they do this thing, I don't remember which birthday it is. Might be that first, what we would call first. They put stuff on a table and the baby crawls around. Whatever it grabs will determine its future occupation. Like if there's a pencil or different things on the table.
Really?
I mean, it doesn't mean that that's what you're going to do and you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
But it's just meant kind of like, I don't know. I don't know what it means,
Yeah.
but it's kind of
like,
cool.
Kind of fun, you know, asking a kid, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah.
Same kind of thing.
And I don't doubt, I mean, the Korean and Japanese parents love their kids as much as anybody.
Oh, for sure.
But we all have their social norms. Some of theirs are just really hardcore.
Yeah.
Thank God I don't live there.
Jeepers.
Hey, yeah, eh?
Jeepers.
I do like sake, though.
Do ya?
Oh, yeah. And Korean fried chicken. Ooh-hee-ha.
Ooh, ew, ah.
It's good stuff, dude. Do you got a story for us to bring us on home?
I got one.
What is it about? A boot?
Well, I'm going to tell you.
Oh, please.
If you shut up.
You shut up. I'll make you. Where's my crazy glue?
Yes, right.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Whenever you're
okay.
ready. God, what's the hold up?
The Clayton County Jail in Jonesboro, Georgia.
Oh, my God.
What?
That just sounds so perfectly Georgia.
Yeah.
Clayton
Jonesboro.
County.
Clayton County Jail.
Who's the sheriff? Cletus?
Might be. Went into lockdown after officers could not find a missing inmate who was convicted of murder.
Oh, jeez.
Only for cops to discover they had left the inmate in the courthouse holding cell overnight. For about 12 hours, Julian Brooks Deloach was missing from the county jail, where he was on loan for the state prison due to the recent misdemeanor. Deloach, who was convicted of murder in 1984, was granted parole in 2010. Clayton County Sheriff, here we go, Levon Allen,
Okay.
told WSB-TV that the jail went on lockdown as officers searched for him. But the next morning, they realized he had accidentally been left in the holding cell at the courthouse. There was a mix-up of who was going to take the inmate down, and ultimately he was left inside the holding cell, Allen said. The courthouse is attached to the jail, and the holding cell is located in a secure area. But they're not intended to hold people overnight. The holding cells do not have beds, only benches, sinks, and toilets.
Oh, they have a toilet? Oh, that's lucky. Lucky for the janitor.
They're also unsupervised after court hours, in this case around 6 p.m. They searched every cell, every area of the jail, searching for him. Ultimately, by the time we reviewed cameras and backtracked and took us to the courtroom where he was, of course, hours had passed by. The sheriff estimated that Deloach was discovered around 7 a.m. the next morning, meaning he was in the holding cell for about 12 to 13 hours.
Yeesh.
As a result of the mix-up, Allen is suggesting that 2 correctional sergeants be demoted and 2 deputies assigned to the court division be suspended.
I bet you that. Yeah, with pay.
Yeah, probably. Right?
Yeah, so I'm sure they blamed the prisoner.
Yeah. Their wording is weird here, but to me it sounds like there wasn't a toilet in there.
Oh?
I think it's just like a holding cell. Normally doesn't have one, I don't think.
Can you read that again?
Yeah, I'm trying to find. The holding cells do not have beds, only benches, sinks, and toilets.
Well, so is there a
Do
comma
not have
after benches?
Yeah.
Okay,
So I don't know. It's kind of the way it's worded, and I copied it verbatim for that part.
That's a badly written
So
sentence.
yeah. But anyways,
Either
Either way.
I bet you they have toilets. Like, seriously.
that
That would
be
suck.
bad if
I
it
know what
wasn't.
I'd do without any guilt except for
Yeah.
the smell.
take a big dump in the middle of the cell.
Well, I got to live with it for who
Well,
knows
that's
how
very
long.
true.
You know. Yeah.
Start throwing it out.
As soon as I heard them coming down the hall, we were like, okay, now it's
Here it comes.
yeah. Yeah, I left a little surprise in
Yeah.
there for you.
Thanks, dickheads.
Thanks, Cletus and Roscoe.
Levon.
No, what is... Did you ever watch Dukes of Hazzard? No, you're
I
too
did.
young. Did
Yeah.
you really?
Yeah.
Because there was Roscoe P. Coltrane.
Yeah.
He was a sheriff.
Mm-hmm.
What was the deputy's name? Wasn't it?
Oh, I don't remember. I remember watching it, but I was pretty young.
Because he had that little dog. The
Yes.
sheriff, like
Yes.
a cocker spaniel or something. That's how he would talk. I can't remember the deputy's name. He was pretty cool. Like
Yeah.
he was dumb, but he was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. It's a good story. So yeah, I saw that one pop up.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see what the big prison break was? It in Louisiana? Like a dozen prisoners escaped.
No, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah. They're on the lam.
Beauty.
We back. Yeah, so that's goings on.
That's the goings on.
What was the county called? Carson County?
Jonesboro.
That was a town.
Oh.
Clayton. I bet it's in like northwest Georgia. God.
Because how do you lose an inmate?
Well, I mean, I can get it, but for 13 hours, like, how hard did you look?
Yeah.
Like, how big is this courthouse?
You looked in every cell. Didn't someone go, hey? Who brought him back?
Like, where
Don't you have to like sign papers or something? I don't know.
Didn't somebody put him in there?
You would think.
Right? Yeah, just go find somewhere to sit and we'll come and get you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
sure.
then dude goes home.
Yeah. No.
Has his hungry man dinner.
But they should get burned. Like, I don't mean they should get, like, go to prison or anything, but they should be demoted. They should get punished for that. Damn right. That's pretty shitty. Yeah. What if the guy died in there?
I know.
Right?
Ooh, pardon me. I totally yawned.
Yeah, I picked up on that. Hey, everybody. Mel yawned.
I did.
You know, that means...
I'm hysterical.
That means lack of oxygen. I still think...
I'm in hysterics.
Yeah, we're going to go to Giant Tiger then, but do you think they have crazy glue there?
Well, they probably do.
Because we could try this experiment right in the car.
No. No.
Yeah. Glue your hands to the steering wheel. That'd be good, eh? That'd be awesome.
No, thank you.
Yeah, 10 and 2.
Don't move from this spot.
That's right. But then you have to sneeze.
I'd probably shit myself and everything.
Hopefully I'll be long gone by then. Yeah, so... Hey, by the way, thanks to everyone who sent us congratulatory well wishes for our first anniversary. It was very cool. Mm-hmm. And if you haven't seen it yet, we did put out a bonus episode where we answered questions from some of our listeners from around the world.
Mm-hmm. We got a lot of questions. That was great.
I was singing Daft Punk.
Yeah, that's great.
It was awesome, eh? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hope they don't hear me and sue me. Do they speak English? Yeah, they do.
Well, they did the song around the world.
It's true. It's true. Yeah. Thanks again, everyone, for we appreciated all the comments and the submitted questions.
Yes.
Do you want to do our little plead?
I could do the plead.
Do it.
You guys know what to do, though.
Better know what to do.
You should know by now. If you don't, then listen up.
Listen good.
Go to theabsurdpodcast.ca. There you can find our socials and different places where you can listen to us. Give us some good old ratings of 5 stars and pass it to a friend and just say, hey, like this.
And you can even, I saw this on another podcast I've started listening to. It's a historical podcast. Mm-hmm. And you can leave comments on individual episodes, eh?
Yes.
Do you know that?
Yes.
I didn't know that. People should do that.
Yeah, people should.
But yeah, go see us, like on our socials, like Facebook and Insta and Tickety Talk. Mm-hmm. You can listen to us on most any streaming service. Matter of fact, if you know of a streaming service that we're not on, I want to hear from you.
Yes.
Because there's already more than I even knew existed in the first place.
Yeah.
I had no clue. Like Deezer, you know how I feel about Deezer. Mm-hmm. I love it. And I've never used it, but I love the name. I got a Deezer of a headache, or other things. So yeah, please do follow us and tell a friend.
Yes, please.
Guess who's back?
Back again. Shady's back.
The absurd is back.
Tell a friend.
We never went anywhere though.
Guess who's back? Guess
Get out, dude. It's enough Eminem. No
Guess
more Eminem. I started it. My God, that was a really bizarre face. Wow. So thanks again, everyone. Thank you very much for listening and stopping by, and we will be back here next week.
We will.
Now we're off to Giant Tiger to do some shopping.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
I gotta buy some curtains.
What kind of curtains? Like for windows?
Like for windows.
All right.
To the wall. The sweat. No, okay, stop.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Thank God.
Everyone else knows.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
Someone sing it. Someone sing it. Send it to us.
Thanks again for listening. Shut up. And thanks for stopping by. So please take care of yourselves and one another.
Bye, bye, bye.
Bye.
The Absurd Podcast is written, produced, and recorded by Rod and Mel. Music by Audionautics.com.